me to buy pen and pencil, I needed to trade for a week. And for me to be able to buy my uniform, I needed to trade for the whole 3 months of summer. Just all those things were only enough to eat. And it was a hard life. I mean, going to the bush and to the forest, I was full of wounds and injuries. And
and then you even sold what they call ogi. You prepared.
Yeah, that was in the latter years when between the age of 6 and 12, I was just dealing with the farming and the firewood and all that. So from the age of 12, somebody came to our village who said, you old woman, you are already over 60, you could do a more civilized business. So this lady taught us how to make pap or custard.
It's like custard, liquid pap.
Yeah, it's just
from corn.
Custard. Yeah, from corn custard. So she taught my grandmother to make custard. So we needed to. So she learned the trade and she taught me. So I, together with her, I was from the age of 12 till the age of 18. We were trading in pap, and people who were growing up around my village and the surrounding villages near Ijebu those days would know me as Omologi. These are some of the lowest categories of people when they begin to call you Omologi or Eleta or Alata
yes,
or something.
And that's the reason why when I hear in the Western world, somebody commits a crime and does something silly, they say, oh, it is because of his background. He was abused when he was young. He came from a poor background. And there's always excuses for what people do. And yet we have people like yourself and so many more who went through that kind of same sort of background. But you didn't go into crime, but rather you were making do of any little thing you could get your hands on.
Yeah. It was very humiliating to engage in those things, especially when I was getting to puberty age. When I was becoming like 16, I began all of a sudden to be ashamed of myself and to be I didn't know that was the process. When you are getting to be 14, 15, 16, you begin to become more
self-conscious.
Yeah, self-conscious. So that self-consciousness brought some feelings of shame, and because I was now being ashamed of carrying the thing on my head, and then you have to announce in the street, shout, and you are hawking it, and then you are shouting as you go, so that people in the houses will know, oh, the boy that sells this custard, corn custard has come. So we say, Omologi today, erogi.
That's right.
That is like saying the boy that sells this custard has come for your breakfast. We will need some custard.
That's right.
Breakfast. And knocking from household to household like this. And so at 16 I was doing that. 17 I was doing that. Then being in secondary school, needed to do that. And seeing all these kids who are schooling. So I was a prefect. I was a senior student. Then all the kids who are junior to me were seeing me after school. That is very humiliating. But I also knew there was no other way for me to survive. So I actually did that almost till I came here. Wow. When I won the scholarship, and God gave me good result and favor.
Wonderful. Then let's fast forward from that point to when you actually got born again. How did you get born again? What happened to you?
My first encounter with the Lord was one time when the Anglican church of our village was invited to send kids to a camp, youth camp. And I never went to any of the camps. They used to do it every summer, but I could never go because summer I needed to use it to work and to gather money for my tuition for my school. And then I never had the money, just a few amount of money they needed for the transport to go to that. But this year, something happened. I think somebody came, blessed my grandmother with some money, and then she said, oh, this money will be enough to buy your uniform for the next session. So you could go to this school, and she had money. So that was the only time in my life that I went to a camp. And in this camp, I heard the testimony of this Anglican priest who studied in England and did actually his master's degree, but felt called to the ministry. He was an Anglican, but he came back but it was born again. So he had a born again experience. So it was totally different from what I was used to in my village. Because the traditional Anglican church I was going to, it was just traditional Anglican church, like Church of England. No salvation message, nothing alive there. So I was going there, but I was one of the biggest sinners in the village. So, but this man attracted, I saw so much grace in him. I saw something very attractive to me, that this man is born again. He's talking different. He's reading the Bible. I never had people reading real Bible. I just know about his hymn books and the prayer books, but this is real Bible. And then he's talking about real experience with God. So that time I decided, I invited people who wanted to give their lives. I did it. I went forward, but I didn't know that after you do that, you needed to change your lifestyle, or I felt something. I felt good. I felt that, I would like to keep this, but I went back to my village. No Christians. I'd never seen any born-again Christian in my life. So I didn't know something was different. But so I went back to my real normal life. But that was when I was 15. But when I was 18, after I finished my high school, I was sitting down in my sofa one day, just like this, watching. I left this village to another village. So this is my village where I grew up. I went to the other village where my other relatives were, because I was the only one left in this other village. So my other relatives took me to this other village because they were better to do. They had a father, that's my uncle, and then they had a house, so they have television there in that house. So, but being a curious student myself, I'd always liked to follow the news. So I always watched the world news. So I was watching the world news one day, and after the news, normally the program that would come, religious program, will always be the white garment church and all. But this was another program that was coming in. It was one dynamic pastor filling the stadium, and the stadium was jammed with people, and this pastor was in suit and speaking good English with somebody translating to Yoruba language. It was the 1985 crusade of the Deeper Life pastor, W.F. Kumuyi.
Okay.
So he had a crusade in the National Stadium in 1985. So they were relating that and transmitting it over the television. And I was in my deep down village, dark village somewhere, and I said, hey, this kind of, it looks fascinating. I liked the way he talks. And then people were coming forward to give testimonies. So I liked it. I said, oh. So this, because I'd had an encounter at that time with this man that I really got fascinated with, but I never saw miracles there. He was just talking good about Jesus. But this time, this man was talking as well about Jesus, but also was showing miracles. Then I heard the gospel for the first time, that if you want, that you could try to receive Jesus. But I was suspicious. I was thinking, no, if he's going to pray for me on this television, okay, so I decided to just follow the prayers. I followed the prayers. Then I wanted to try it on my own. So after the program finished, I went to my room, and it was dark at night. But I went to the room and knelt down. He said, you should repent. I said, okay. So I decided to repent of my sins and confess my sins. I did. As soon as I did, and I said, Jesus should come into my life and wash me with his blood, and something happened to me. I felt as if I had been carrying 200 kilograms of weight.
Wow.
Before this, on my shoulder. I never knew I was carrying anything. It never felt like that. But now I felt so light, as if 200 kilograms of weight fell off my shoulder. As I felt so light, and then I was feeling as if somebody had just washed me, as if every cell of my being was washed clean. I sensed as if the whole room was full of light. I said, oh no, but I put off the light when I was about to pray. I opened my eyes, no light. But I closed my eyes, it was as if there was light. I went out, to the street. I saw the sky. The sky was blue. I couldn't believe it. The sky is blue. I never noticed it.
Unbelievable. Well, you know what? I want to just thank you for watching. And this particular program is ended here. But there is a part 2. and there's going to be a part 3. So please make sure you're on the lookout for the second part of it. God bless you as you continue to watch and put into practice what you have heard. Bye for now. Pastor Sunday Adelaja, the pastor of the largest church in Europe, the Embassy of God, is initiating a move of God in this nation called the History Makers Bible School. The History Makers Bible School takes place only on one Saturday every month to equip you for the next level. It will also be a good opportunity to network with like-minded Christians. You will receive tried and tested keys to church growth and pastoring without tears at the Emmanuel Center, 9 to 23 Marsham Street, Victoria, London, Southwest 1P 3DW. Registration is £40 per session. To register, call 0798 114 6157 or email admin@hmbsuk.org or visit the website at www.hmbsuk.org. Whatever you do, don't miss this move of God. Call the number on the screen now to register. Remember, you were called for a time like this.
Hello, everybody. I'm here to offer you a wonderful opportunity that people have been asking me about wherever I go. People are asking me, how can we see the same move of God in our country as is happening in the Ukraine? Will you come and do a conference? Will you come and preach in our church? And the invitations are just too many. So that's why I've decided to start a Bible school in every country. So right now we have started one in America, we've started one in France, we've started one in Holland, we've started one in Germany. Now it's time for England. So we're starting a History Maker Bible School in the city of London from September 25th. So I'm inviting everybody that wants to be a part of this great move of God that God is pouring all over Europe, that you should come and be a part of this Bible school. It's just a weekend Bible school, 1 weekend a month. So you don't need to leave your job, you don't need to leave your family, you don't need to leave your church, just 1 Saturday in a month. You can do that. Please get in touch with us by contacting the telephone and the email on the screen after this program. God bless you and welcome to History Makers Bible School.